Welcome to Spectrum News at 4. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu swears in Amupitan as Inec chairman. Reps propose rent increase not more than 20%. Plus, Trump imposes new sanctions on Russian oil companies. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. We begin the news from this hour from the national scene where President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Professor George Amupitan as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec. Amupitan's swearing in by the president comes a week after the Senate confirmed his appointment as Inec chairman following a rigorous screening session on October 16. President Tinubu charged Professor Amupitan to protect the integrity of Nigerians' elections and electoral process, as well as strengthen the institutional capacity of Inec. Away from that, the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has announced uniform sale prices for housing units under its renewed Hope Estate program nationwide. This was contained in a statement signed by the ministry's director, Press and Public Relations, Badamasi Habi, in Abuja on Thursday. The housing units, which comprise 1, 2 and 3 bedroom semi-detached bungalows, are part of the ministry's effort to make home ownership more accessible and equitable for Nigerians. According to Haiba, the approved selling price are 1 bedroom semi-detached bungalow 8.5 million naira, 2 bedroom semi-detached bungalow 11.5 million naira, and 3 bedroom semi-detached bungalow 12.5 million naira. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Musa Dangiwa explained that the priority in the location of the housing unit will be given to low and middle income earners, civil servants at all levels of government, employees in the organized private sector with verifiable sources of income, and Nigerians in diaspora who wish to own homes in the country. In a related development, the House of Representatives has decried the arbitrary rent increases in Nigeria, calling for no more than 20% of the existing rent, irrespective of infrastructure improvement or other factors. These followed a motion by the member representing Calabar Municipality and Odukwani Federal Constituency, Basi Akiba, on the need to regulate arbitrary rent increase and protect tenants from exploitation. The housing is urging the federal government to prioritize investing in affordable housing initiative, ensure access to low-cost housing for citizens, and reduce pressure on the rental market. Meanwhile, the House has passed a resolution asking the Inspector General of Police and Controller General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to direct policemen at checkpoints operating in plain clothes to be fully kitted with proper identification. The lawmakers expressed concern that the lack of identification for the security officials was not in line with international practices and did not allow for office accountability. In the meantime, the House of Representatives has launched an investigation into how $4.6 billion in international aid grant between 2021 and 2025 were used. It argued that the grants had failed to prevent high mortality rates from HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria. In a motion presented, the lawmakers said urgent oversight and re-evaluation of current strategies were necessary to prevent the country from missing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of ending epidemics of those diseases by 2030. U.S. President Donald Trump, since returning to office in January, had led the way in cutting foreign aid budget, prompting humanitarian workers to warn he has put the lives of vulnerable people, especially in Africa, at risk. On judicial matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed October 29 for the hearing of the suit filed by the police against Omoyele Sowore and other conveners of the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest held on October 20. The suit, originally scheduled for October 20 for the respondents in the ex parte motion to show cause why the interim order made by the court should be vacated, could not proceed. This hearing was told as a result of the protest, which was held on the same day, crippling the court activities at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The order followed the ex parte motion moved by the police lawyer Wisdom Madaki on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Meanwhile, Kanu Agibi, former Attorney General of the Federation and lead counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, today appealed to withdraw his representation in the ongoing terrorism trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing trial on a 7-count charge bordering on terrorism filed against him by the federal government. When the matter was called today, Agagbi informed the court that he would no longer be representing the IPOB leader, adding that the defendant had decided to take back the case from them. In the same manner, all the senior advocates of Nigeria involved in the case also announced their withdrawal from the case. Meanwhile, the court has adjourned till Friday, October 24th for Nnamdi Kanu to open defense after lawyers withdrew. We move now to Africa, where Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has met with European leaders in Brussels for the first ever EU-Egypt summit, marking a new chapter in relations between Cairo and the 27-member bloc. The high-level meeting focused on security, trade, migration and regional stability, particularly the ongoing crisis in Gaza. During the summit, el-Sisi joined European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and the European Union Council President Antonio Costa in signing 3 key agreements covering macro-financial assistance, support for reforms, and Egypt association with Horizon Europe, the EU's flagship research and innovation program. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen underlined Egypt's strategic role in the region, particularly as the Mediterranean faces shifting geopolitical dynamics. Still in Africa, judges in Cameroon have dismissed calls for the partial or total cancellation of the heavily disputed presidential election, saying they will announce the result on Monday. Major cities in the country have been rocked by protests, with opposition supporters alleging that the 12 October poll was marred by irregularities, including ballot stuffing. Judges on the Constitutional Council dismissed 8 petitions, citing insufficient evidence of irregularities or a lack of jurisdiction to annul results. Recall that opposition candidate Issa Sheroma Bakari had declared himself the winner, a claim rejected by allies of 92-year-old President Paul Biya, who is seeking another 7-year term. On the foreign scene, the U.S. has announced new sanctions targeting Russia's two largest oil companies in an effort to pressure Moscow to negotiate a peace deal in Ukraine. The announcement came one day after U.S. President Donald Trump said a planned meeting with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Budapest would be shelved indefinitely. While the economic impact to Russia is likely to be minimal, reports say it represents a major shift in Trump's foreign policy, having previously said he would not impose sanctions on European nations ceased buying Russian oil. Meanwhile, the Kremlin said Russia was immune to the sanctions. Still on the foreign scene, European leaders aim to endorse controversial plans to use Russian frozen assets to support Ukraine at a meeting in Brussels today. The unprecedented proposal for what the EU has dubbed a repatriation loan would see Kiev received 140 billion euros worth of frozen Russian state assets currently held by Euroclear, a Belgian-based financial institution. According to reports, the plan has been months in the making, partly due to legal complexities surrounding it, as well as concerns from member states about upsetting global financial stability. Still to come in the news. Super Falcons head coach Madugu seeks comfortable win over Benin's Amazons. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. On the business news, the Naira yesterday appreciated to 1,492 Naira per dollar in the parallel markets from 1,495 Naira per dollar on Tuesday. But the Naira depreciated to 1,462 Naira per dollar in the Nigerian foreign exchange market, NAFEM. Data published by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) showed that the exchange rate for the Naira rose to 1,462 Naira per dollar from 1,464 Naira per dollar on Tuesday, indicating 2.5 appreciation for the Naira. Consequently, the margin between the parallel markets and the NAFEM rate narrowed to 30 Naira per dollar from 35 Naira per dollar on Tuesday. Still in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has suffered a drop in both production and earnings, losing about 380 billion Naira in September 2025 when compared to the previous month. Now, this is according to the latest monthly performance report. Figures from the September report showed that the company's total revenue stood at 4.27 trillion Naira, lower than the 4.65 trillion Naira posted in August, representing a month-on-month loss of about 380 billion Naira. Profit after tax also declined from 539 billion Naira in August to 216 billion Naira in September. The report indicated that total crude oil and condensate production averaged to 1.61 million barrels per day in September, compared to 1.65 million barrels per day in August. On the health news, stakeholders on Wednesday urged government at all levels and Nigerians to strengthen food safety and nutrition, curb antimicrobial resistance, boost healthcare funding, enhance pandemic preparedness, and invest in women's health to build resilient health systems and extend the life expectancies of Nigerians. They made a call at the 2025 Getfield Health Summit in Abuja, themed Resilient Health Futures. This year's focus is on strengthening local health resilience through chronic disease management, outbreak preparedness, women's health, antimicrobial resistance, health financing, and the One Health approach. The summit noted that the resilient health system is critical for improving life expectancies, which currently stands at 54 years. The event, organized by Getfield Impact Foundation, brings together leaders from government, civil society, academia, and the private sector. Still in health, in a move to deepen public awareness on compulsory health insurance, the Lagos State Health Management Agency has unveiled Nigeria's first health insurance online radio, known as Iliara Eco Spotlight, to educate residents on the importance and benefits of enrolling in the scheme. The Health Awareness Digital Radio is another innovative step by LASMAN towards achieving universal health coverage in Lagos State through effective information dissemination on the state mandatory social health insurance scheme, popularly known as Ilere Eco. The social health insurance of Lagos State is backed by the State Health Scheme Law of 2015, which makes it compulsory for all the residents of the state to have health insurance regardless of their socio-economic status. Recall that in July 2024, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu signed an executive order making health insurance compulsory for all residents. To sports news now, where Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu is firmly focused on his side's clash with the Amazons of Benin Republic. The holders are eyeing a place at the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Nigeria will be up against their neighbors in the first leg of the final qualifying round tie at the Stade de Kegu in Lomé. The Super Falcons are overwhelming favourites to scale through the hurdle. The reverse fixture will hold at Moshood Abiola Sports Arena, Abeokuta, next week Tuesday. Still in sport, France under-17 women's head coach Michael Ferrari has reacted to his team's victory over Flamingos. Les Bluettes defeated Bankole Olowukere's side 1-0 in the second game at the ongoing 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup yesterday. Massi Faith Allah scored the winning goal for France 9 minutes from time. France advanced to the knockout round following their hard-earned victory. On entertainment, Ace rapper Erica has said the ongoing grievances between his colleagues Odumedo Block and Bless Bones are detrimental to Nigerian hip-hop scene. He claimed that the feud has created tension within the industry and is forcing all the rappers to take sides. Speaking in a recent interview, the Paper Boy Colonel accused fans of encouraging discourse amongst artists. Erica acknowledged that rap battles are part of hip-hop, but argued that grievances ultimately cause more harm than good to the culture in the long run. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Emedion James. Do have a lovely day. Thank you for watching.